Busy day today. Lots of planting out to do, and it's day 11 of a 21-day incubation period for those eggs. Now, they're not here though. Shirley lost interest, and they've gone off to the incubator down at my brother's. We're going to pop down there in a bit, and we'll have a look at them. I'll get the torch on, and you should be able to see the embryo growing inside as well. I've left all of this in place because even though Shirley's not sitting on the eggs here, this is still where the youngsters are going to come as we slowly introduce them to the rest of the flock. So we'll pop down to my brother's in a minute, show you those eggs and see how they're doing. Not long now, like I said, day 11 already of 21 days. So we'll have little chicks soon. I discovered, at long last, what breed Shirley is. She's a very distinctive looking chicken. Turns out she's a breed called a salmon faverolles. Salmon faverolles, something like that. And they're actually known for being very friendly, affectionate. Hello! I think that was Steve again. They're known for being friendly and affectionate, and usually they're known for being picked on, but that's not the case here because Shirley's the boss of the flock, always has been. Yeah, they're well known for being friendly, tolerant, sociable, affectionate, which is really weird because they're French.
Excuse me?
I wish you all the best in your new life here in France.
I'm sorry?
Andres, I'm just saying, good luck with your new life here in France.
No. I'm sorry?
Andres, you're in France.
No.
Are you alright?
No.
Are you alright?
Get me out of here.
What? Just breathe deeply. We're leaving France, we're going to start up the car.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Right, here's my cheap eBay incubator, which is supposed to fit about 12 eggs, but I think that's only for quails. We've got 4 chicken eggs comfortably in there, I'll show you in a sec. The monitoring, the humidity and the temperature. It's all a bit hit and miss with the temperature because the incubator's cheap and the little meters I put in there are cheap. So as you can see, they're all reading different. I'm just trying to take an average reading from them and get it about right. Right, it's quite a clever little device actually, I like it. Let's have a look inside. Hey on Molly, do you want to take the camera? Still filming. Try not to press any buttons while you're holding it.
Whoa.
There you go. Right.
Your hand's in the way.
You've got this little wheel here that turns round with a peg on it, and as that turns, it slides this tray backwards and forwards, which mimics the mother hen turning the eggs.
Look, it's got a smiley face.
Yep. That was so that when they were going to go in with all of Shirley's eggs, I didn't want to get them muddled up, so we knew which ones were fertile. Right, should we grab a white one and go and have a look at it under the torch?
Okay. Oh, look. It's your face.
Right, I'm going to show you the embryo, hopefully. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up very well or not. Let's... How's that looking, Molly? Can you see? Give it a twist.
I don't know. Am I supposed? Can you see the embryo?
I can see the blood vessels.
I can, kind of. Smiley face.
It's not showing as clearly as it was before, is it?
No.
It was much more clear than that the other day. But anyway, I can see a dark mass in there. I don't know how well that's coming out on the camera. Hopefully not too bad. You can see the blood vessels, you can see a little mass growing in there.
Yeah.
The other day when we looked, we could actually see what looked like a brain or an eye, couldn't we?
Really?
Big black dot, do you remember?
No.
Yeah, we did.
I went off. Because of... Okay, I'll go get another egg.
No, it's alright. We'll just show him one for YouTube. That's alright.
Aww.
those eggs seem to be doing okay then in the incubator. Controlling the humidity with that thing is tricky, but I think we've got the hang of it. They should be okay. I think they'll hatch all right. We're on day 11 of their incubation. On day 17, they go into what you call lockdown, where you remove the tray that turns the eggs and remove the layer that tray's sitting on, giving you a bit more headroom in the incubator. And then you turn up the humidity. Well, you say turn up, you add more water to get the humidity even higher. And they sit there from day 17 to day 21, just still in the incubator. And they should hatch on day 21, maybe day 22. At which point, there's going to be some really, really cute little fluffy chicks to look at. That'll be a good video. And then once they've grown on a little bit more and they've got their adult feathers, they'll still only be tiny, but once they've developed adult feathers and they don't need to be under a heater anymore, they're going to be under a heater once they hatch, they can come and live here and slowly integrate with these little girls. Now I've got so much planting out to do today. There's cucumbers, got to go in here in the greenhouse into the ground, and out here it's difficult to know where to start. There's such a lot to do. We've got beans, sweet corn, butternut squashes, crown prince squashes, various salads and peas, all to go out today. I haven't got too much in the way of preparation to do. I need to put some canes up for the peas, but that's a pretty rough and ready job. You don't have to spend much time doing that. Oh, where am I going to start? I'll tell you what, let's do the peas and the beans. We'll get that pole building out of the way. I'll catch you in a bit. It's that time of year, now that spring is in the air, when those two wet gits with their girly curly hair make another song on moronic holidays that nauseate in a million different ways. From the shores of Spain to the coasts of southern France, no matter where you hide, you just can't escape this dance. Hold a chicken in the air, stick a deck chair up your nose, climb inside a dog and behead an Eskimo. Now you've heard it once, your brain will spring a leak, and now you hate this song, you'll be humming it for weeks. It's warming up out there. I don't mind admitting I'm feeling a bit lazy. And I've got a lot more spare time on my hands these days. So how much more planting I do today, I'm not quite sure. It's proving quite nice just sitting around relaxing in the sun, you know. I've been popping down since I've had this new job just round the corner. I've been popping down every day after work, doing a little bit of weeding, a little bit of watering. And that's really what you need to do with an allotment. That's what I always used to be able to do. When I was, years ago, when I was self-employed, I'd finish at whatever time the hell I liked, come up here and spend an hour or two on the allotment after work, and everything was rosy. Everything was growing lovely, no problems. And then that last job I had, it took all my spare time off of me. And plus it just made me damn miserable. So even when I had a little bit of spare time, you know, I wasn't exactly top of my game sort of thing. I don't need to worry so much now. It's all coming along lovely. I'll get a little bit more done today, but there's stuff that I did last weekend that I've not shown you yet. Got all my brassicas in, all in and netted over. I don't think I've shown you that. No, because I didn't make a video last weekend, so I wouldn't have shown you that yet. I've got my peas and beans in. I'm just going to sit down and have a little bit of refreshment. I tell you what, you can't beat. Well, you can't beat his Grumpy Jack, but you also can't beat cheap-ass digestives. Look, 80 pence a pack. I think they're Happy Shopper. No, it's not even Happy Shopper. It's Euro Shopper, whatever the hell that is. But cheap digestive biscuits. They're like cheap cornflakes. They're really nice. To be honest, the expensive ones are just too sweet. They're all salty. They're nice. I like them. And those cheap cornflakes as well. You know, the ones that are really thick and they go soggy really quickly when you put the milk on them. They're my favourite types of cornflakes. So I'll sit here in the shade for a bit, have a little rest, and we'll just go and have a little walk around, a little tour, show you how everything's getting on. Quite well, actually. I keep forgetting, there's no rush anymore. Ugh, I can just do it at my own pace. I used to have to rush up here when I had a Saturday. I'd have to rush up here on a Saturday, get as much done as I could. Usually quite badly because it was in such a rush. That's not an issue anymore. Right, let's have a quick look round then. You've seen what I've got waiting to go in the ground. Oh, scrumpy flavoured. Tomatoes have shot up since they've gone in. They were doing quite well in their pots, but obviously as soon as you put something like that in the ground and it's just starting to get a tiny bit pot bound with its roots, you'll put it in the ground and that's it shoots off. Happy as Larry. I've got my cucumbers to put in still, just the other side of that. They're actually going to be really quick and easy. The bed's ready, the cucumbers are ready, no preparation whatsoever there. I'll just shove them straight in. So that will take me, to do all of my cucumbers, will probably take me about 15 minutes one evening after work next week. Although there's always tomorrow, there's always Monday, you know. The onions and garlic, look, they're doing nicely. I've got no signs of rust yet. They do always get rust, but it's not a worry. No signs of rust yet, they're doing very well. My first early potatoes, they're not going to be long to be honest, look. Growing away fantastically, and they're just starting to put a few flowers out. Now some people say as soon as they flower you should harvest them. It depends how big you want the potatoes really. I tend to, once they flower, I've got what, 1, 2, 3, I've got 5 pots of them here, 5 tubs. When they start to flower, I'll generally kind of harvest 1 tub and get lots of lovely small little new potatoes. And then the others I'll leave to get a little bit bigger. You know, successional harvesting. You start off with small ones and by the time you get to the last tub, you'll have some nice big ones. Big for new potatoes, if you know what I mean. Right, this is what I've been up to today then. I've got my bean wigwams up. I've got the beans planted. I've got my pea supports in place, just a bit of chicken wire and some metal poles hammered into the ground. The peas grow up those really nicely. That's how I've always done it. It works really well. I've still got that tub of peas to go in along here, but these ones are already in. I've given them all a good water, and this week I'll get to watch those start to stand up straight again and climb their way up the chicken wire. The asparagus, I probably need to stop harvesting it now. I might take 1 or 2 more cuts, but really now, I've been eating it for 3 or 4 weeks. It's about the right time now to stop harvesting it and let it grow. Like these ones here, let it grow and flower. I mean, they actually get about 2 meters high, and that way they can replenish, ready for next year. And then this time next year I'll be eating all these lovely little tender shoots again. Strawberries, yes, very good. Loads of blossom. I've got quite a few different varieties there. Don't ask me to name any of them, they've been in there for years. But because I've got quite a few different varieties, I'll get quite a long harvesting season. I'll get some early strawberries and some mid strawberries. I don't have any late ones. I've heard of people harvesting strawberries in September. I don't have any varieties that are that late, although it might be worth sticking a few in at some point. These are my second early potatoes. Coming through very well. They should be ready second earlies. They're usually sort of July really. I've got in at the end here 2 courgettes, one there and one there, and buried in the straw there is a butternut squash. Loads more squashes over there ready to go in. I'm going to do those in the evenings after work. What else, what else, what else, what else? Oh, this is what I did last weekend. And it took most of the weekend, to be honest. I've got all my brassicas in. And all nicely netted over. This row at the front here, they're kale. Now, I've not netted them over. Well, kale is... I only grow kale for the chickens. I don't like the stuff. To me, it tastes bitter. And it's got a tough texture. I'm not a big fan of kale at all. But it grows so easily and so prolifically. It's worth growing it for the chickens. They seem to like it. But the reason I haven't bothered netting over it is because nobody else... You know, pigeons don't even like it. Slugs don't eat it. Pigeons don't eat it. Aphids don't eat it. I don't eat it. I just grow it for the chickens. So it's actually quite safe not netted over. Now under this lot here, I've got 2 rows of cauliflower. These are the collies. Stop it. Yep, the collies looking very nice. There's no slug damage or bird damage whatsoever here. This has kept all the birds out, obviously, and because it's all netted in so tightly, no birds or hedgehogs can get in there. I don't mind using slug pellets. So we've had no damage whatsoever on those. Got 2 rows of cabbages there, and they're actually starting to heart up. I don't know if you're going to be able to see very closely. There we go. They are actually starting to just about form little hearts. There's 2 rows of cabbages there. I like cabbage, I eat lots of that. Swede. 2 rows of swede. The stems, a lot of people think that swede is a root vegetable. It's not. That big round swede that you buy in the shops, it's a swollen stem. These stems below the leaves, it will fatten out and turn into a big fat round swede. Again, no damage whatsoever. Very pleased. Now, what else we've got here? Oh, we've got some purple sprouting broccoli. 2 rows of purple sprouting broccoli. I'm not sure if we're going to get any harvests off of that this year. I have grown some purple sprouting broccoli before that wants to sort of sit there over winter, and then it will give you your little florets late winter, early spring. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one. I mean, by the way it's growing, I think actually I probably am going to get some broccoli off of it. It freezes well, as does swede, as does cabbage, as does cauliflower, so suits me nicely because I freeze a lot of my stuff. Right, carrots. Doing okay. There's one particular variety here which is doing a bit better than the others. That one's where my mum sowed those rows there. They've pretty much all come through. These 2, however, they're a little bit more patchy. They have come through, but they're a bit here and there, a bit patchy, so I'll probably just sow some more in there. And that's probably down to the fact that we have had, since these were sown, we have had a few evenings, a few nights, where the temperatures got down to 8 or 9 degrees. I think these might have even seen 6 or 7 degrees when they first went in. So that probably explains why these 2 are a bit patchy. And this variety here, I have got it written down somewhere, I can't remember off the top of my head which is which. This variety here obviously a bit more cold tolerant. But I'm just I'm gonna fill in the gaps. I'll sow some more, that's not a problem. Now we've got parsnips coming. Let me just get that glass off and I'll show you. They're popping through here and there, look. There you go, give you a close-up of what a parsnip looks like when it's just sprouted. There you go, we've got a little patch of them there, little patch there, in the middle, around the edges. I think I told you before, I plant 4 or 5 per station because they don't like to germinate very easily. This way, at least you get some results. There's a really good number of plums on my Victoria plum tree. They're only tiny still, but there's loads of them coming through. I wonder if this might be the year, finally, that tree starts to go a bit mad with its fruit. It's been there a long time. I think I planted it the 2nd year I was here, so this is 6 years old now. You can see down there the trunk's nice and thick. We've got a good canopy on it, and it's had loads of blossom, but it's been taking its time. It always produces a few, but it's been taking its time to really give us a bumper harvest. I'm, fingers crossed, being a little bit cautious, but I'm kind of expecting it to be a good year for that one this year. Again, we've got me pears, cherry plums, apples, lots of fruit on all of them. We didn't get late frosts. So none of the blossom was damaged. And all being well, we should get good harvests off of all of those. My pink fir apple potatoes, I've topped them up a little bit more. I think last time I showed you these, the soil level was much lower, much less amount of compost, and these were just poking through. Well, since then, I've earthed it up with another bag of compost, covering the plants, and they've burst back through again. So we'll do that one more time. I'm going to let these grow a little bit more. I'll throw on one more bag of compost, and then I'll just leave them to grow. My main crop potatoes are Sarpo Miras, and Alan was giving me scare stories about people's potatoes rotting off, and these did take a little while to come through, but come through they have. There you go, there's no rotting off going on here. That's fine, that's fine. Don't know if you can see those ones up there. They are all coming through. They just took a little while, a little bit longer than usual. Don't know if that was because of the damp or what, but they're there. They'll be fine. My sweet corn and squashes are all going to go in this bed here, next to the main crop potatoes. They're ready to go in, and the weather's warm enough. I'm going to do that in the week, after work. Now this one here is my honeyberry. It's called honeyberry because it's a honeysuckle. It's a honeysuckle which produces edible berries. Now, it's a very hardy plant. It's a bit of a prepper plant. It will grow literally anywhere. I think it's from, I say literally anywhere, it will grow anywhere that's, you know, not too hot. It's from Russia, pretty much, I think. And it's very tolerant, very hardy, grows well in cold conditions, doesn't need any special treatment whatsoever. But it's only ever really produced 2 or 3 berries on it for as long as I've had it. At first I thought the birds were stealing them, but I've sat and watched and the birds don't seem to be. I was watching Atomic Shrimp. There's a YouTube channel called Atomic Shrimp. He's a sort of variety channel. And he grows a few little bits and pieces. And I was watching one of his videos the other week and he mentioned that he's got honeyberry. And apparently it's not good at self-pollinating. Like most plants, it will do to an extent. But if you want proper bumper harvests of berries, you need to get a pollination partner for it. Now luckily these are really cheap. I think this cost me £2.99. I went down to Wilkinson's and I got myself a little young one to be its pollination partner. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to plant it just yet, but as close to this one as possible. Obviously if they're right next to each other they've got a much better chance of cross-pollinating, and then I should get loads and loads of those honeyberries. I'm looking forward to that because the 1 or 2 that I've had the opportunity to eat, they were really nice. Well, this one here is sorrel. I threw it in because somebody gave me a plant. I thought, whatever, chuck it in, see what happens. So I threw it in a few years ago, and actually I've come to really like it. The chickens like it, I like it, and Molly likes it as well because she's a bit of a fiend for sour food. And these sorrel leaves, they're you use them as a salad. You don't. I'm not aware of people cooking them. You kind of use them as a salad, but they've got a lovely lemony flavour. And a nice texture too. Comfrey here is such an excellent plant. Not only does it provide me with free plant food for all of my crops, but the bees absolutely love it. And I've just scared them off. Yep, sod it, no rush. The pressure's not on this year, I keep forgetting that. I'm just going to enjoy. I'm just going to sit and enjoy it in the sun. Off to a donkey sanctuary tomorrow, taking the nieces there to see some donkeys. I'll probably catch you there. See you soon.
Now you've heard it once, your brain will spring a leak, and though you hate this song, you'll be hard.